Hey, you guys, good morning. So, I want to just share with you my final draft of this concept map project. Where I left off on the first draft was I had identified one commonality between profiling and gentrification was that it can result in people of color being displaced. That's sort of where I ended. That's a good relationship, a commonality that they share, but that doesn't really answer the question, how are these things examples of systemic racism? So I had to keep thinking. I had to refine my thinking. And I did that by just asking myself, okay, well, what is displacement really? What does it mean to be displaced? And I thought about it and I thought, well, being displaced, maybe you're forced, maybe you have no choice, maybe you feel powerless. That's the connection. Systemic racism is all about the practices and laws and aspects of our culture that keep power for one group and limit power for another. So that was really the next step to make my thinking complete. And you can see here in my final draft, I have the same elements that I do in the first draft. The definition is here for both terms. I've got some relationship things like what the cause and effect is of each term is in purple. But then I take it further and say, okay, well, how do we get to that idea of power being taken away, right? So I realized that profiling really is kind of an example of how we get to inequalities in our justice system. And gentrification kind of results in inequalities in resources and economic standings and even geography within neighborhoods and stuff within cities. So here's what I finally realized both of these terms just show systems that dehumanize people of color because they maintain power for whites while limiting opportunity for minority groups. So, in my first draft, I did my initial thinking. I tried to kind of build some connections between the two terms. In my final draft, I refined my thinking to try and understand how these terms get us to an answer about what do these have to do with systemic racism. Okay, so please use my example as a model. I'll put it in the slideshow for you, and have fun with this. You know, you can do it on paper like this. You could do it on a Google slide or a Google drawing. You guys do be however creative you'd like to be here. There's no wrong answer so long as you show the relationships between these terms and then use some reasoning to prove that they are both examples of systemic racism. Okay, thanks.